Okay. So let's look at this example, for instance. Let's cut this off. Where should I cut it off now? Okay, let's do this here. Okay. So I said this is the pullback. Well, this pullback here. It's not really a pullback, it's a correction because this is the last pullback before it. We have this pullback before this high. Can you see it? Hello? We have this pullback before this high. Price took that pullback out, gave us a swing low, and gave us this higher high. So this is a pullback for this higher high. Then price came again, took out this pullback. It took it out twice actually. But the first time it took it out, we wait for price to break structure to the upside.
Okay.
When it took it out the first time and broke structure to the upside, I didn't see there's no fair value gap here. There's no fair value gap. And I told you, I said every break of structure to the upside should give us a fair value gap, an unmitigated fair value gap, or an order block. I can't see an unmitigated order block here. I can't see an unmitigated order fair value gap here. So that means the displacement here is a suspect. Price came down again to take it out the second time. This is what I call a double sweep. After price sweeps it a second time, let's see if price will give us, if price will break that high. This is the high that broke the structure a second time.
Okay.
This high broke the structure now. Let's see if price will go above this. Let's play price forward. I don't want it too fast. Okay. Let's see what happens. The price has broken the structure to the upside. I see it. And when it breaks the
Yes.
structure to the upside, you see there's a fair value gap. It leaves a very large fair value gap. You can see the fair value gaps, the fair value gap it leaves. It's left there.
Okay.
That's the fair value gap. This fair value gap is large.
Yes, it is. But it's valid though. Yeah.
So I'll be expecting price to come at least to the middle of this fair value gap in order for me to take a buy. There's a fair value gap and there is an order block beneath it. So let's see how price reacts. Fair value gap. But I'm expecting price to come to the middle of this fair value gap. So let me put a limit order at middle here and see what happens. I have a limit order. I have my stop beneath this low. My stop beneath that low. I love 1, 2, 3s. Why this is proving difficult tonight. Yeah. Okay. Let me do 1, 2, 3. Anything beyond that to be too ambitious. Okay, let's leave it like this. Let's pick price and see price will feed us in. We come to the middle of the fair value gap. It doesn't come to the middle of the fair value gap, but it's okay. Is it coming back?
Let's see.
Let's see. Let me see something here. It doesn't come to the middle of the fair value gap, but it's moved from the fair value gap. Let's assume we have our order right on the beginning of the fair value gap, which is okay. But I always do middle of fair value gaps and middle of other blocks. That's what I always do. At least you'd have gotten a 1 to 2. Yeah, certainly I've gotten a 1 to 2. On the very top of the fair value gap, I've gotten a 1 to 2. So there's been another sweep again. Let me show.
Where was the other sweep?
Look at this. Look at this pullback.
Okay.
Can you see this pullback?
Yes.
The price sweep it or not?
Yes, it did.
Swept it. Did it break structure to the upside? Yes or no?
Yes, it did.
Broke structure to the upside. So that's all you need. Then did it leave a fair value gap?
Yes.
So this is a fair value gap. Let's mark that fair value gap. Let's see. The price will give us a 1 to 2 from this fair value gap. One, two, three. Okay. Okay. Two. Okay, let's leave it there. Let's see what happens. Let me come back. It came back, fed us in. It took us out. Did it? Okay, let's go. Let's see. It took us out and came back. Did you see what happened there?
Where? Okay.
It took us out and came back to this extreme fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
Took us out, came back to this extreme fair value gap. Let's see how it rolls from there. Wow. Wow. That's why, that's why I don't like limit orders most times. See? It's now giving us a change of character. Can you see the change of character?
Near the end.
Yes, near the end. Give us a change of character. It swept this low. That's another sweep there. Swept the low. It swept the low. Can you see the sweep?
Yes.
Then broke the high that swept. Broke the high that sponsored that sweep. This is the high that sponsored the sweep. It broke the high that sponsored the sweep. And it left good gaps. It left good fair value gap in its wake. So look at the fair value gap. The one before it breaks the strip. That's the one we are looking at. That's the fair value gap. Can you see it?
Yes.
So let's see if it will come back to fill in that fair value gap again. Let's see. Boom. Went all the way up.
That was a good trade there.
Nobody can tell this guy what he does. He does whatever he likes. And that's how it ended. And that's how it ended for the week. So let's look at other examples. Let's look at other examples. So there's no guarantee that you'll win every trade you get into. If every trade is a winner, everybody will be a multimillionaire just trading the markets. So let's look at this example. There's a good example here. Let me see this. So price is in an uptrend, then it starts making downtrend moves. Are you there?
Yes, I'm listening.
No.
It's
This
in an
is,
uptrend right now.
yes, an uptrend. This is our first pullback, yes or no, in this uptrend.
Yes.
This one is our first pullback. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Our first pullback. These things are not obeying me tonight. What's happening? No, that's our first pullback. So why is this one not a pullback?
Um, because it didn't. Let me see. It didn't go past the last lower high.
Okay. It didn't go past, it didn't make a higher high.
Yeah, oh, okay, yeah.
It didn't make a higher high. What about this one? The same thing. They make a higher high. But this pullback produced a higher high. This one didn't produce a higher high. This one didn't produce a higher high. So after this pullback, you see that price came down, swept the low of this pullback, taking out the liquidity. Then we are waiting to see a change of character to continue the move to the upside. So at this point, price swept this low again with a long wick. I didn't mention that long wick because it's very important. Yes, it shows us there's a lot of bullishness here, a lot of bias here. So the price sweeps this low. This is the eye that caused the sweep of the liquidity. Yes or no?
Yes.
This eye caused the sweep of the liquidity. In order for us to confirm that this is a liquidity sweep, we want to see price break above this eye, leaving a fair value gap behind. So let's go see. It broke it,
Yes, it did.
break past it. It didn't leave a fair value gap. There was a fair value gap, but it has filled that fair value gap. It has filled more than half of that fair value gap, but we have the other block, which is unmitigated. So we can mark out this other block and take our entry from there. So as a matter of fact, you can go to the 15 minutes or 1 hour time frame from the 4 hours time frame and wait for price to come back to this other block.
Okay. Can we jump from the 15 to the, from the 4 hour to the 15 minute?
Yes, you can jump from the 4 hours to the 15 minutes. You can jump from the 4 hours to the 15 minutes. I want this one to be perfect. Okay. So let's go to the 15 minutes chart and see. So as you come and fill it in, let's see. Okay. It is a 15 minutes chart.
Okay.
So let's play it forward and see if price will come back. To
Yes.
fail to take on that fair to take on that other block. Let me go to the 1 hour to make it faster. Let's see.
Okay.
When it comes back to it, we'll go back to the 15 minutes. Okay. These two faster than this. Yeah. Let's see. Let me come back. It will ever come back. It didn't come back. It keeps making higher high, higher high. Let's see what's happening on the 4 hours. We've gone so far from it. Let's see what's happening on the 4 hours. Okay. Have we made another high on the 4 hours? Where are you? We got into the very last point or what? This thing is too slow. What's happening? Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Then let's see. We've swept liquidity again on the 4 hours. So we'll leave this zone. We'll leave this zone for now. There's a sweep of liquidity here. Am I right?
Yes.
Our market broke this high that swept the liquidity. Do we have fair value gap?
Let me see.
We have a little fair value gap, but it hasn't been filled. So we take the other block.
I see one where those green candles are.
This one.
Yes.
This green candle with a wick has filled this fair value gap. It has filled more than half of that fair value gap. The fair
No,
value,
the one next to it with the longer. Oh, yeah, it did.
this is the fair value gap has been filled. That fair value gap has been filled. More than half of it has been filled. More than half of it has been filled. You see this long wick went below half of it.
Yeah, it did.
Let's use the other block instead and see how price reacts to the other block. Let's see other block here. The price come back to that other block. Yeah, price come back to that other block. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
Did it touch the other block?
Let me see.
No. Did it?
No. Nope.
It did. Did it? Let me mark this well. I prefer my trading view to this. Okay, I think it touched the other block. Yes. didn't touch it. It was a few pips. That's why sometimes when you're placing your orders, just give it a few pips above to avoid misses like this. You understand?
Yes.
If we were like a pip or two above this other block, you'll be in this trade and you'll be in good profits. Can you say it?
Yes.
So you get the idea. The idea is always wait for a sweep of liquidity, look for your order block under it, or look for the fair value gap under it. After the breakup structure, you take it
Okay.
after the breakup structure. So what we are basically doing is this. Let me repeat it again. What we are basically trying to do in an uptrend, for instance, we go up, up, down, we go up again, come down again. We get a sweep, get a sweep, then we get a break of structure. You understand it?
Yes.
So when an uptrend, for instance, are going up, we get a sweep of any of the pullback, maybe one, two, or three of the pullback. Once we get a sweep, we get a sweep of it. Then we get a break of structure, the eye that sweeps it to the downside. We'll make sure that high is taken out again to confirm this liquidity sweep.
Okay.
Confirm that liquidity sweep. Then within the new swing that is formed, we are looking for a fair value gap and our order block. Within the new swing that is formed, we are looking for a fair value gap and our order block. Our order block may be low, at the low. You understand? Our order block may be there. Our order block maybe we have our order block there. Then maybe we're looking for a fair value gap. Look for the fair value gap. Then you place your entry on either of them.
Okay.
Place your entry maybe on the fair value gap. Anyone you like. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a change of character and a fair value gap. Without a fair value gap, that,
You're not valid.
that change of character is not authentic.
Okay.
Without a fair value gap, that change of character is not authentic. And you know that without a fair value gap, the other block is also not authentic. So you want to look for a change of character or market structure shifts with a fair value gap. Let me put that down so that when you watch this video later, you see it.
Okay.
So we're looking for a stock. We're looking for a chalk. And fair value gap. That's what you're looking for. I'm looking for a chalk and a fair value gap. We don't get a chalk and a fair value gap, our chalk or change of character is not valid.
Okay.
So this is an uptrend. You wait for a sweep of the liquidity. Wait Once you get your sweep of liquidity, wait for the chalk. Hmm? Wait for the chalk, which is to break the structure to the upside. Then
Yes.
check for your fair value gap. Check for your fair value. Even if this fair value gap gets mitigated before you enter, no problem. But you know that there was a fair value gap, and there's an order block. So you can use either the fair value gap or the other block for your entry. So you can enter on the same time frame, or you wait for price to come into this fair value gap or the other block. Then you go to the lower time frame to wait again. Lower time frame chalk and fair value gap to be formed.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That is when market
Yeah.
here now. Let's assume we've changed. Let's assume this is 4 hours time frame. Now we have changed. After we get our chalk, we are now in the 15 minutes time frame. So after we get our chalk, this is now the 15 minutes time frame. Market is going up, coming down. So comes here. This is on the 15 minutes. It comes here. So within these 15 minutes, within this fair value gap, you want to
Okay.
sweep a break. You get it. You want to see a sweep and a break again on the 15 minutes.
Okay.
You want to see as it comes into here, you want to see the same pattern that played out here on the higher time frame. You want to see it play out again on the lower time frame. A sweep,
Okay.
a break. So within this sweep and break again, you now have your lower time frame of 15 minutes order block. You have your 15 minutes order block within the larger, within this fair value gap or this other block, anyone you choose. You see your 15
Okay.
minutes order block, and you also see a fair value gap, a 15 minutes fair value gap. So this is the one you will now use to take your trade so that you will use less, you will risk less. Your stop loss will be smaller. The stop loss will be smaller. So let's assume you are using this 15 minutes fair value gap. You see what it has done? It has
Mm-hmm.
increased, it has increased your reward.
Yes, it did.
You target the same high with a smaller stop loss. Target the same high with a smaller stop loss. Let me quickly see
Okay.
if I'll get another example. Let's look at another chart.
Okay.
Look at another asset. Let's see GBPJPY. Let's turn.
Okay, I'm back. I
Okay.
was thirsty.
So let's go back.
Okay.
Let's see this. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame and see. We've got something there. Okay. Okay. Okay, look at this.
Which one?
This one.
Okay.
There's been a sweep here. Look at this pullback here.
Yes, I see it.
Price swept it, yes or no?
Yes, it did.
Price swept it. And this is the high that actually started that move. Can you see it?
Yes.
So price swept it. Many people will credit that sweep. They will credit this lower high. Many people will credit this lower high for this sweep of liquidity. But this is actually the high that started this whole move that broke it to the downside. But the moment price took out this high, what are you looking for?
Uh, I'm saying once it take out that high, I look for my order block.
And fair value gap. The first thing
Yes,
you should
that
think of is the fair value gap.
before the order block. Okay.
So you have your fair value gap here.
Mm-hmm.
So you mark out your fair value gap. Because that's the only fair value gap I even see. There's no fair value gap here. This is the only fair value gap. We will mark it out and let's see how price plays out. Let's see. Okay, good. Let's wait and see. Price comes into that and boom, it goes up. You see it playing back into this zone. It
Yes.
came back right away into it.
Yes.
So came back right away into it. Let's assume we have our order there. Let's see if we get a 1 to 2. Definitely we got more than a 1 to 2. Did you see it?
Yes.
So it came right into it and pushed up. Let's continue and see what happened again. Let's see if we'll get another sweep. That's another sweep there. So did you see where the sweep occurred? This
Yes.
back. This is a pullback here.
It's a pullback. Yes.
Our price swept it, but that sweep is not yet confirmed. You know why? Because price didn't break structure to the upside to confirm that this is a liquidity sweep. This price could be reversing at this stage. The price swept it and continued to the downside. If price has swept and break this high that caused the sweep, will now confirm that this is a sweep. Did you get that?
Yes.
So since it
Yes.
didn't break this high,
I'm learning a lot.
this is not a sweep yet. So let's continue and see if we'll get another sweep. Another sweep, and price continues to the
No.
upside. You see, until it comes back to the upside. Okay, price has ended for that day. Let me see the bigger structure. Let me see 4 hours and see what's going on here. GPB, JPY. Okay. And I get something here for Monday. Like this. What's wrong with this thing? Yeah. Price swept this one, but that's not my liquidity there. That's not the liquidity I like for these 4 hours. Okay. My pullback here, my pullback will be this. This will be my pullback. So I'm expecting price to come down maybe within next week.
Okay.
I sweep this low. So if it sweeps that low, I want to see how, if I will get a change of character once it sweeps it. I want to see it give me a change of character on the 4 hours. But if I want to be aggressive, I'll wait for the change of character on the 15 minutes. Now let's stop today's class here. We'll continue tomorrow. You said tomorrow
Okay.
by
All right.
you said tomorrow by 1 p.m.
Yes.